hard work and determination of our area athletes. This is The Score on WQAD News 8.
Good evening and welcome to The Score Sunday. We were able to get back to playing sports this week, and there was plenty of games and options for you to watch your favorite sports teams. Coming up tonight, we will meet the new football coach at Geneseo. Matt Furlong takes the keys to the Green Machine, what he has planned for his first season. We will meet the newest member of the WQAD sports team, Jenna Miner. She'll be joining us in studio to help us to get her to know her better. And our FC Story of the Week features a former Fighting Illini basketball player that is enjoying his first year as a head coach. And we hear from the newest and biggest Hawkeye football player. We're now joined by the brand new Geneseo football coach, Matt Furlong. You have quite a few ties to the Quad Cities that I guess many people might not even know about. Assumption grad, Augustana grad, been coaching football for 19 years up at Cary Grove. What intrigued you about first coming back home and then having it be Geneseo?
Yeah, obviously a lot of family, still in the area. Having grown up here between my parents, both my sisters are in the area. It gets us closer to my brother. My wife's from Macomb, so it gets us closer to that area as well. So being back closer to family was a huge draw of it. And then when we, starting to look around as to the possibilities and the opportunities that were here, and when the Geneseo job opened up, it just seemed like the perfect fit and the perfect opportunity. It's a great school, great community, great program. So it was the ideal opportunity that we're looking for.
Since you had been coaching for so long and hadn't taken a head football coach, was it something that eventually you're like, eventually I'd like to be a head football coach? How did that process kind of work out for you?
Yeah, it's been something I've considered, over the years, and certainly was something that, someday I thought that it would be something I'd like to do. But at the same time, I was part of such a great staff and a great community. And I know, from that experience that all that goes into it, and that, to be a head coach, you need great support from a staff, from administration, from everyone up and down the line. And so it wasn't something where I was just looking to be a head coach to be a head coach. Rather, when this opportunity opened up, it seemed like a spot that would have all those things that I knew in order to be successful at the job that you need. So for me, that was a huge draw of it. It wasn't just any opportunity to be a head coach, but rather the opportunity that I was looking for.
Who are some of the people that have kind of influenced you and maybe guided you in this process of coaching, to get into football coaching?
Yeah, well, to get into football and education, my parents were a huge influence. My mom's an educator. My father's recruits and coached football and baseball for so long in Augustana. So being around them and everything that they put into it had a huge influence on my choice just to get into the field. And then once I was, up at Cary Grove, I've been blessed to have so many good influences in my life. From our head coach, Bruce Kay, when I first got there, he was a Hall of Famer, to Brad Seberg, who I kind of came up with in the program, as our current head coach, and all the amazing things that he's done for it. And then to, Don Sutherland, who was our defensive coordinator prior to me. And not only the things I learned from them as football coaches, but how to live your life, and such great mentors on and off the field for me. So those were major influences for me as I've gone through the coaching ranks, but also and getting to where I am and developing the way I have.
Well, you've obviously had a lot of success up at Cary Grove with that program. How do you bring what you learned there down here to Geneseo, which also has a huge tradition and has had a lot of success as a football program?
Yeah, and one of the big things I've been talking to both our coaching staff and the administration and our players about is finding a way to merge those two things. Well aware of the tradition Geneseo's had, and there's so many good things here already in place. So a big part of this is going to be keying in on those key things to continue and move forward with, and then at the same time bringing in some things that I think can help improve and help bring Geneseo to the next level.
What will a Matt Furlong Geneseo football team look like? I'm sure that's probably what a lot of fans are going to want. Is it going to be 5 wide and we're throwing it deep, or what's the process going to be like for you?
Yeah, we're going to be a football team that both offensively and defensively is going to be about being physical, being mentally disciplined, and playing good, hard-nosed football. The scheme side of things, we're still, kind of working through some of that here with the staff and honing in on exactly what we want to be. But it's going to be a group that is, going to be focused in on doing the things that good football teams need to do year in, year out, regardless of whatever scheme or personnel that we have. So it's going to be, building up offensively and defensively and special teams, things that we know can last and things that we know are going to fit the Geneseo community and is going to give us a chance to succeed year after year.
Do you feel like it's kind of come full circle a little bit where Coach Reed was a coach here, you went to Augie, you never played for him, but he went to Augie. There's a lot of similarities, a lot of almost full circle moments, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm didn't grow up in Geneseo and I'm not from the community, but definitely with going to Augie and the Reed family and the Johnson family and knowing them and what they stood for at Augustana, and a lot of those same things I've heard here as I've gone through the interview process. So it's definitely something, I've heard and I've been comfortable with the message and I can relate to. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to experience it firsthand here.
And you have a little familiarity with the Western Big Six. You kind of know some of the coaches. I know Mike Morrissey is a good friend of yours.
Yes, yeah. With growing up in the area and being around it, there's that familiarity of the teams and who's in it. Mike's a good friend and was a big influence in me, moving back here, and so that familiarity is definitely there, between some of those relationships and then just kind of knowing the conference in general.
What excites you about Friday night football and being under the lights?
Oh, just being able to see all the hard work that our kids put in pay off. Whether it's, right now in the weight room, to being involved in other sports, to all the time they put in the summer and building up to the season, and those practices and everything that goes into it. That's part of what a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see. Is you get a handful of Friday nights and Saturday afternoons and every year. But it's so much that goes into that preparation and building up to it. So seeing that success pay off for them out on the field on Friday nights is always a fun thing.
Well, we're excited for you and your family. We're excited for you to be in Geneseo, and we wish you all the best. So good luck to you here in Geneseo.
I appreciate it.
And we'll be right back on The Score Sunday.
The Score continues on WQAD News 8.